The brick, the plug, yeah. Lil' J on the track, nigga. Hey, it's time for all the security. Get around. It's going down.
Well, I'm a cat toad, just a holy nigga on your damn street. Something jumping, bumping, and we fuck off in this damn thing. Throwing the balls, I pat these hoes, they're screaming and bleeding from it. Those are where we start to swear, we make the niggas hit the float. Ain't no game off in this thing. We be deep off in your party. Call my niggas get it started. Hit it with niggas through the hardest. So if a nigga bump and run they mouth just like a hoe, punch him dead up in his nose and stomp his head back to the floor.
Yo, we ducking and bunking and ready to fight. I bet you I'ma throw them things so haters just to think twice. See me, I ain't nothing nice. Ain't cry my beat, ain't no stopping. Take it like the diamonds, like killer, and I'm time up in life. Like they say they come popping and tie your back in the food. I wish a hater would get drunk up on this time my crew. Not enough is enough, boy. Rough, take it up, boy. Look, it's a must, boy. Look, if you buck, boy.
What's going on, Conscious crew? What's up? I told you guys we'll be doing a rollover from the previous commentary. If you guys have not checked out the Cardi B and T.I. commentary that I just did with my wonderful co-host Reckless Logic and Knockout Media, along with my Conscious crew members, and make sure that you guys check that out. This conversation about Will Smith and Chris Rock is a bleed over from that commentary, which I felt the need to kind of isolate into its own little live in the video, because I know that there's a lot going on with this Jada Pinkett Smith, Chris Rock, and Will Smith situation. So I didn't want it to kind of get like all lost in translation of what was already a 3-hour live prior. So I'm going to bring up my wonderful co-host, Jazzy Jace and Heart of Inspiration, who has some interesting remarks about what took place on that infamous award show night. Before we get into the minutia and the thick of this, make sure that you guys go ahead and give me a nasty piece of thumbs up, girl, because this helps with YouTube's algorithm. It doesn't matter whether you do it in the beginning, the middle, or the end, or catch it in a replay. Just always remember to give me a motherfucking thumbs up, okay? Now, if you're new here, definitely, okay, subscribe, because if I like it, like, duh, you're gonna motherfucking love it. And you also need to make sure that your notification bell is set to all, because by this, girl, you know that I'm dropping content at 1:33 in the AMs of the salacious hours, girl. So, you know, you just never know when I will be coming through your window like, oh, that's a piece of great alien, girl, knocking that beam through your window and pulling you out of the bed to get you into some things, okay? And if you just want to press the gas a little bit further, go ahead and share, because sharing is just simply caring, okay? So without further ado, girl, let's get into tonight's commentary, and hope you guys enjoy. I will be dropping a link for you guys also to chime in as well, and we'll go ahead and get into it.
I know a place where you can recharge your soul.
Baby, that's Consciouztv.
And in the midst of brokenness, he gon' see your asshole.
Baby, that's Consciouztv.
You gon' heal, you gon' laugh and catch a little shade.
Ooh, girl.
Y'all know he be slaying, y'all better stop playing. Come hear what he's saying.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Welcome back, everyone.
Hello.
Hi.
Jazzy and Perp. Thank you
Hey.
guys. I know y'all got children to breastfeed and a nation to go get in order in the morning, honey. So I really want to thank y'all for being here in these late hours. I don't want to keep you guys too long, so I definitely just want to get right into it. Before we do, though, everybody who has a YouTube channel or has a social media platform that they would like some traction to, can you please shout out your social media, starting with Jazzy, then Heart, and then Perk?
My station is Jace, Jace,
Harnage, Harnage. You never know what you're going to get when you come there. I've had some rants. Because I watch politics very, very closely, because what happens in the political scheme of things affects our community so adversely much of the time. So, and then I also read cards. I'm a novice at it. However, I'm good at it. I only do 2 or 3 pulls, and I do oracle readings, and I also do. I'd like to put out some encouragement, something that will help lift somebody's spirit. So it's sort of a mashup of a whole bunch of stuff, whatever I'm feeling. But you can find me at JACEHARNAGE on the YouTubes. And I'm new here. I admit that I'm learning. I come here to this station because I learned so very much from you. So I'm new and I'm learning, and I'm hoping that I'm getting better and better at it.
Oh, you are amazing, Jace.
Oh,
And,
thank you.
and thank y'all so much. Make sure that y'all shout out mods. If y'all can sprinkle Jace's links throughout the commentary, I would greatly appreciate that. Heart of Inspiration, lay it on out for us, honey.
Thank you, Conscious. So you can find me here on YouTube at Heart of Inspiration. If you type it in, it's going to pop up right there. It's interesting because the channel, I do a lot of various esoteric spirituality discussions, right? Everything from
Yes.
astrology to the tarot and oracle to discussions about Reiki and shamanism and aligning your chakras and living in multiple dimensions and meditation. So, and then I dip my toes in a little mess, but only just so that we can see from the celebrity perspective or from hot topics. Really, it's to help us understand it. So you can pretty much find me on any platform at Heart of Inspiration. I also have a website, and there's some other things, but I'm not going to talk about all that until Conscious and I talk first. So I'm going to let that go. But yeah, so you can find me there. And I just appreciate this channel. And I appreciate everybody here because we can have such an open and wonderful discussion. And it can go anywhere, but it's always good and in good vibration, and we come to resolution. So I just love it. So I love you guys.
And even if you get cussed out, you're loved here.
Your station is
Child, we not listen. You know what? That went right off like a water goes off a duck's back. I choose not to get offended. If I could leave anything with y'all today, please choose not to be offended.
Yeah.
Please do. Keep your peace. Okay?
Wow. Yeah.
Keep your peace.
Offense is a choice. My God, that's powerful.
I like that.
That is powerful. That's something that a lot of content creators and celebrities need to internalize. That's amazing. And I was kind of speaking about myself because I had kind of had a crunk moment, in the previous live.
You did. That's why I didn't come up, because you was going off, bruh. I was like, I'm gonna leave him be.
When the ship is rolling and the V8 engine is revving, honey, sometimes, it just goes off the street corner. I pull up on the curb a little bit, but just don't mind my driving, honey. Just charge your love, okay?
Thank you, Conscious.
Yes. So you guys make sure to subscribe to Heart of Inspirations right here on the YouTuberations. My girl and one of my wonderful mods, Purple Lover, please give the people your Addy out here on these streets, honey, so they can know where to find you.
Thank you very much. For me, you can reach me on TikTok at Purple Goddess 0408, and we'll also link you to my Instagram through that one as well. And I also have my website, customizeyourlife.net. But it's still under construction, so that's not fully launched yet. Yeah, thank you for having me.
Having some connection issues too, Perp. It's like you're kind of in and out a little bit.
Okay, can you hear me better now? Because this is Verizon.
Yes. Okay, so you guys heard it first. with a purple lover, and I want to welcome the holistic attorney to the platform as well. Can you hear us, the holistic attorney?
Yes, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. I
Okay.
wanted
Hi, Conscious. How are you?
hey, boo.
Hey.
Hey. I think you got a little bit of feedback coming from your background.
Okay. Let me try something.
As holistic attorney is working her audio out, you guys. I guess I'll let well. So what we would piggyback, what we need to piggyback off of is a conversation. You guys already know about the infamous slap around the world regarding Will Smith. It has been speculated that there have been everything from a illuminati humiliation ritual to Jada's narcissism to possible underlining mental illness in Will Smith that led to the manifestation. But there also may be something more astrological at work as well. So we're going to explore some of that tonight. Just to give some pushback, I wanted to pull up an article, and I covered this initially in my Will Smith commentary regarding where his astrological was, and then I'm going to let Heart of Inspiration kind of take it away from there. And this is from show notifications block. This is from the NY Post, you guys. Let me try to pull this up. Okay. Yes. Okay. So it reads the slap that was heard all around the world, the Oscars moment between comedian Chris Rock 57 and newly anointed Academy Award winner Will Smith shocked audiences and the world. The uncensored confrontation, which has apparently been a long time coming, inspired viral memes and airplay worldwide, easily being the award show's most talked about moment. Despite wonderful speeches, lovely fashion, and wild after parties, nothing else stood out quite as much as this bizarre and polarizing interaction. Smith, 53 years of age, who joked aggressively prior to the event that he intended to bring the chaos and be everyone's problem, was triggered by Rock's G.I. Jane joke about his wife's lack of hair. While the Academy declared that the interaction was not staged and they do not condone violence, it is currently uncertain whether or not they will retract the award due to the violation of their high code of ethics. Yet after a public apology and a tearful acceptance speech, it has been confirmed that the two stars have put the bad blood behind them in an effort to move forward in a positive direction. So what caused the two to erupt at this point in time? Let's take a dive into their cosmic weather, because I'm a pop culture astrologer and it's just what I do. Okay. This reads, Will Smith's astrology shows why he was on edge and feeling chaotic. First off, Will Smith was fired up already, and there are a few reasons why. In a previous article, I dove into his birth chart as well as his astrological compatibility with his wife, Jada Pinkett Smith. Will Smith was born September 25th, 1968, and I know that Heart of Inspiration has his chart pulled up as well. This makes him a social Libra sun with a tremendously passionate Scorpio moon. The key takeaways I want to reiterate from the breakdown is that he has a high level of intensity and rebellious energy in his innate personality, because his sun ruling his life force is in the same place in the sky as his Uranus, which is the planet of chaos and revolution. Wow, choosy words there. Chaos and revolution. This gives him an eccentric and strong-willed energy, but also can make him immensely unpredictable. His moon also dances with Pluto, which is the planet of domination and power struggles. This means that on a good day, he's focused on deep emotional and transformative ways of connecting with people. But Pluto, which is the higher octave of Mars, the planet of war, can also make someone very forceful, aggressive, and controlling when they are triggered. It causes one to assert themselves for power and can propel someone to acts of violence and revenge. The good thing about our natal charts is that they can help us to grow if we are conscious of, mayonnaise woman just rudely interrupted, honey. What is tea? Hold on. Oh, mayonnaise privileges for real. This threw me. Okay. But they also reveal certain traits that may be challenging, which we must face and work through so they don't dominate us. I don't know how much of this I want to read, but I just wanted to give you guys just a glee of that. So, Heart of Inspiration, you have Will's chart pulled up. What were some of your observations? Or did you want me to continue the reading from that? Because I can.
No, I mean, that's interesting, and it's a very vanilla take. No pun intended. That's a very vanilla take. But would it be okay? Can I share my chart
Yes.
with you? Okay, hold on. So what I did that night, as a matter of fact, is I went ahead and ran Will's transit chart. So this is the chart. Everything in blue is Will Smith's natal. Okay, he's one of the few celebrities we actually have his birth time. A lot of them we only have their birth date. So this is a very accurate chart because we have his time of birth. And then everything outside of here in the orange is what we call a transit. So that's where the planets were. And I ran it for approximately 6 p.m. Pacific time over LA. If memory serves me correct, that was about the time the slap happened. Okay. I could be within a couple of hours, but you weren't going to see much change of anything. What really got me the most was, here, let me do this. Can you guys tell I do this for, a living?
Respect. I mean, so much respect. Yeah.
So, we have Saturn here and Venus and Mars. At the time, this last week when this was happening, there was about to be this conjunction. Saturn is, if you want to think about Saturn, that's kind of like the grandfather that's get off my lawn. Like, that's the person that's going to give you constraint. That's usually the energy of it's the energy of government. It's the energy of foundation. It's the energy of social mores and rules and regulations. It's the energy of, this is what we not fixing to do. However, but in the 10th house, it's even more so. I mean, in the 10th house, it's even more so that because it typically resides in Capricorn, which is 10th house energy. And that's, again, government ruling, like oppression, kind of that sort of thing. It can be quite liberating and quite structured as well, though. But it's in Aquarius, which is, it's a little freer there, and it's allowing this energy to explore a little bit more. But again, it's of the greater good. But when you see Venus and Mars coming conjunct there is a masculine and feminine energy, divine masculine, divine feminine energy that's now coming into play. And all of us were experiencing this over the last few weeks, actually, where we were just kind of like, what is it we really want to do? What do we really want to do? Because everybody else done told us what we should do, what we can do, what we can't do. And we want to restructure our lives so we can live a life of purpose. For some people, that can look like a massive explosion of energy because they don't really know, because they've never done anything against what the grain of what they've been told to do. And for other people, it can look like, okay, I can finally get it. Now I'm ready to really live my purpose. His problem was all of this energy was what we call squaring or challenging his moon here in Scorpio. That also is, I might say, also conjunct Neptune. That is a kind of dangerous combination because Scorpio moons, we talk about conscious Scorpio sun. A Scorpio moon, I'm going to say, takes it a little bit deeper in that this is how your emotions run. They can run super hot, super cold. They can be like, I'm not sure if I can really trust you or not. They can be like, I'm not sure how much, but they're also going to suppress themselves. They're not going to be as outspoken as a Scorpio sun. So it's going to be that kind of ticking time bomb in the back that you never quite know when it's actually going to explode.
Quiet.
Wow.
And we've seen this throughout his lifetime. Now, So that immediately told me we were going to have problems. Plus, we can't forget that the moon is over here too. And that moon then was also squaring Mercury in Libra. So he really prefers to be a very balanced, um, very balanced in how he speaks. And he's just trying to like keep the peace. In fact, if you read his book, he's always the peacekeeper, right? He's always seen as the jovial, happy-go-lucky person. But with this energy in the 10th house, which is career as well, mind you, I feel very strongly that was just, this is again, he's a ticking time bomb. When he decided to choose chaos, he really messed up. And I'm going to tell you why. Because you've got his Uranus here that is in Libra. So he's always got this, I'm always a little bit off balance. But that's why he's a risk taker as well. That's why he's been able to do what he needed to do. And that is in opposition to I'm going to call it opposition to both Neptune and Jupiter in Pisces. What that can do is this is the area of delusion, of illusion. This is 11th house energy of like, he was in a space in that day where he was ready for everybody to see him in a different light. He's like, I'm going to choose chaos because they think I'm a punk. Wow. You know what I'm saying? Like, wow, yeah. I'm always the nice guy. I'm always the good guy. I'm always this.
I'm going to put a motherfucker in a place tonight.
Yeah. Tonight's the night. Yeah. Tonight's the night. This is, now, I don't know what time the slap happened, but guys, this is pretty close to exact time that he blew up. What was going on energetically? You also have the sun that is, I'm going to call it conjunct his north node in Aries. And then we also have Chiron, which is the wounded healer. What that means is that he is always working towards and aspiring to be more outspoken and more kind of selfish, right? When no offense, but Aries get to be people look at them as selfish. I look at it as I have Aries moon. I just know what I want when I want it. Like, I don't understand what the problem is. But anyway, so he's always looking to like be out there a little bit more and be more vocal. So the sun is right there, and the wounded healer, Chiron being that wounded healer, that's your Achilles heel. That's that area. If somebody wants to get you and get you good, that's where they can get you. That's a very dangerous place to have your Chiron if you're Will Smith dealing with the narcissist being Jada. Because she's always going to be able to hit him in that spot where it's going to hurt hard. Not that he doesn't fight back. I'm not going to say that. But I'm just saying she can get to him like nobody else did. And when I looked at this, and I could go further, but I'm not going to take over your whole show, sir. This...
Go right ahead. We're
yeah, this is what we brought it in
for. This again, it's this energy of, I'm finally going to upset the apple cart enough so that I can get on balance and a new balance, a new way. They're gonna see some tonight that they never saw before. This is also, he's a 5th house or a Leo house sun and a Leo house Uranus. So this tells me here that again, there's a lot of things undercover we never saw. Most of his planets, in fact, are all underneath the horizon, which means there's a lot of layers to him that we typically we'd be shocked, like, really, that's how you are? Really? I didn't know that. Like, it's, so we just began to see a lot of it happen that night. And Leos also are very protective, right, of their pride, of their pack, of their family. So, I think he literally just erupted and had enough. And then you have Uranus kind of over in the cut where it's transiting, and that's in Taurus, and for him it was transiting in the 12th house, which again is this house of illusion, delusion. It can be the house of fabulous dreams and all your dreams come true, or it can be the house of mental illness, the house of addiction, the house of I'm not sure really which way is up and what's really real and what's really not. And for him, and this has been a transit now in his 12th house that has been going on for some years. This isn't the last time. I think we're going to see him change in a very big way. But that is also the karmic house. The 12th house is the house of karma. And you had said something in the previous live when I came back that I heard you say that, people are talking about, is this a humiliation ritual, or is this or is this that? I honestly think that Will Smith, if you think about it, has been humiliated and he has kind of done the soul selling, if you will, for a long time. I think this was time for karma to come. I think this was it was time to clear it, or at least you're going to pay on the front end or the back end, but you're going to pay. I think that the bill came due. Now, positively, this would mean a radical awakening, a radical change. We have to remember that the word apocalypse is really, it's the ripping of the veil. That's what it really means. So where you can see clearly behind it. So do I think that there's so much more here. His Jupiter and his Pluto was an opposition to Jupiter. So his dreams and aspirations, and here's his big night. But then deep down inside, he's like, I can't take this anymore. Like they were literally opposing each other. This was his biggest night, yet it was his biggest debacle, his biggest downfall, all at the same time. There was a big change that happened to him. When he chose chaos, I don't think he quite realized what he put into motion, because he had the opportunity to either choose Venus, love, or Mars, chaos.
He chose what felt natural to him at that time, which was all the oppositional energy.
Yes.
He was surface level with the energy. He chose it.
Right.
Wow.
Because it felt good, right? He thought this was what he was supposed to do.
And that's what I mean. He was supposed to hang that ego up on the cross tonight. That's when it counts the most. That's when it's real choice.
Absolutely. And he had that opportunity with if I'm going to look at his Saturn sextiling, that should be blue because it's benefic. His Saturn sextiling his moon, the transiting moon in Aquarius. This could have been an amazing new like he could have been seen in such an amazing light, right? Because he won Best Actor, only the third melanated man to win the Best Actor award, right? If I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
This could have been an amazing launch pad for a whole nother chapter in his career and a new foundation, right? Where he could have really been on this stage. Think of how much more powerful his speech would have been had he been on that stage and not done what he had just done, and how transformational that would have been, right? But
Denzel said to him, a heart of inspiration, the devil will come for you in your greatest moments.
Well, the Saturn is also known as the devil.
The devil, Saturn, Satan.
The devil or judgment. Is Saturn judgment also, or do I have something wrong?
It can be.
He's a great tester.
He is a great tester. But the interesting thing about Saturn is, if you look at the devil card in the tarot, these people are down there and they're like, and the devil's sitting on his throne, right? But they're not chained.
Right.
They can get out at any time. And if you really look at a lot of the cards, the devil card will be looking at them like, okay, if y'all just gonna stay here and just be bound on your own, that's fine. But your chain's been broke. You don't have to stay here in this mess. And so again,
is it a choice?
It is always. We always have a choice.
Yeah. Okay.
We always have a choice.
Right.
And And
now we might have more energies present at any given moment, but choice is always available, no matter what the energy is that's occupying you moment to moment.
Absolutely. You
Because
know,
that's what I see when I see those two people. I think they're not chained. They could easily walk away.
Yeah.
So they chose to stay. That's the way I see it. And thank you for clearing it up.
Yeah. They choose to stay bound because they don't know any different. Right. And they can't see. They're not even looking at the fact that their chains are broken. They're just like looking up like, spare me, instead of realizing, oh wait, I'm free, you know. So we make those choices. Like, you know, we manifest. People want to talk bad about spirituality manifestation. Listen, you manifest 24/7, 365. You manifest in your sleep. Now it's sometimes you could manifest something that's positive, or you can manifest something that's negative or shadow, but you are always manifesting. You know, which is why even in the Bible it talks about watching your thoughts. It talks about guarding your heart. You know, life and death is in the power of the tongue. Like, you have to watch all of these things, because that's how the world was made. God saw, or he had the thought, right? His heart was moved, and then he spoke.
Yeah.
That's how we manifest. So you're doing it all the time. And he chose chaos. So we could go on and on about Mr. Will, because there's a whole lot there that I could even probably tell you about Will's past lives and stuff like that. But he's stuck in a very nasty little narcissistic web there. But even his upbringing, I'm not surprised by it. And I think that he has some narcissistic traits that his empathic traits kind of have pushed down. But I don't know what's going to happen. This is going to be a very tough road for him. This is definitely awakening.
Inspiration is So let me ask you this question: is having a Virgo partner, like, did that help anything? Because for me, I cannot stand Virgo women. And if that's who was partnering him, I mean, no wonder this man is all toe up from the floor up in his being. Because my auntie she done damn near narcissistically abused my whole damn family as just an auntie. You know.
I haven't run Jada's chart to see if I can find anything. I'd be interested. I feel like Jada probably has a Sagittarius moon, but I'm gonna leave that be for right now. I don't know that just the mere fact of him having a Virgo partner, whether it helped or hindered him, because he's darn near cusp. He's still within 7 days. He's an early Libra. So it's almost like having two Virgos.
When is his birthday?
September the 25th.
Oh yeah.
So he's on the tail end of cuspy, but he's cuspy. He's crispy. It should have helped him, but a lot of times it's really hard to have two sun signs that are that close to each other, because if you think about the astrological wheel on a evolutionary in an evolutionary way, Virgo comes before Libra, which means that the Virgo has things to learn from Libra, right? And it's not the other way around. Really, the only, not to pat my own back, but the only two signs I've ever seen that really get along when they're next door neighbors on the whole are Cancers and Leos. The mother and father of the zodiac. That's the only thing those are the only two I've ever seen get along very, very well. Virgos can drive you batty. Like, my mama's a Virgo. I love her. I love Denise. But I have to leave Denise sometimes to be like, okay, mama, just text me and let me know that you're alive, because I can't talk to you all the time. Like, you know, it's always something, right? It's always something.
Been part of inspiration.
Huh?
My Virgo aunt has been the only woman who I wanted the Supreme Court to reintroduce Old Testament punishment. Old Testament execution, hun. She got to go to the afterlife. I don't need her away from the family. I don't need her away out of the state. I want her in the afterlife. We need to bring back all Virgo women. Virgo women. are like
Honey.
beautiful demons to me.
Yeah.
They can be a handful. I can't, like I said, I can't say too much because my mama won. I ain't trying to get struck down. Uh, but as she can be a pistol and a half. Even my daddy used to say, like, y'all don't know y'all mama. But when he passed away,
Yeah.
God rest his soul, and I got to know my mama. Every night I said, when I see you again, I'm gonna run up and kick you in your shins for leaving me here with this woman. Kick you dead in your shins for leaving me here with her. It's a trial and a testament. So I don't know. I don't know. He would have been better off. He probably would have been better off actually, believe it or not, with a Sagittarian. His Scorpio moon would allow him to be with a Scorpio very well, though, because they would get his moods. They would understand his emotions. Um, I'm trying to see though where
'Cause I
his.
wanted,
Yep, go
while
ahead.
you finding that, I wanted to know too. Do you think that anything in Chris Rock's astrological makeup positioned him from this uppercut too? Like if he was particularly vulnerable the night of this all happening?
That's a good question.
Yes, it is.
Let me do my magical chart here and see if I can find his if we can find his information and what was goings on and the goings on.
And while how the inspiration is finding that Purple Love, I know that you had said that you had watched a interview between Will and I'm just going to say his spiritual coach, a guy that he's been working with closely regarding spirituality and so forth. What stood out to you in that interview?
A lot of things stood out to me in that interview. I could see this event coming because of the fact that he is going through an awakening process, and the awakening process is really freaking messy. And what it will do, choosing chaos didn't necessarily have to be a bad thing because chaos can be expressed in, taking that energy and creating with it. Because chaos is really a blank energy that you can really work with. But because of the wounds that he's had from his childhood, um, it was only a matter of time before they expressed themselves. Because even then, you could hear him, you could tell that there was a lot of things that his spiritual coach really hadn't addressed with him.
Mm.
He talked about how him and Jada had studied different religions and they had really gone in deep to study like the Quran and Hindu and all these other things. So there was that active searching. He was actively searching to find a way to get to the peace that he's been looking for. Um, there's a lot of things that intuitively that whole moment was brought together by both of them. It wasn't just a will thing. Chris Rock also had things coming to the forefront because he has some karmic things to also to pay the tax on at that time
Mm-hmm.
because there's been a lot of messy things going on with him as well. So they both manifested that moment between each other because it was time for them to do some actual healing, and it was done live and in front of everybody at that point. But that was also part of the Aquarius situation to make people realize that either you deal with your stuff or it will come up in the most inopportune times to make you deal with it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Purple
This is
Lover, though. Purple Lover, I want to ask you, though, at least this is what I tell people. Yes, chaos magic can be a good thing, right? Because you're right, from chaos comes creation. However, in the hands of a neophyte or an initiate or just one that don't know what the hell they doing, and
yeah,
especially with that woman he got there, I don't know what kind of island stuff she's doing, and I'm not trying to be funny, but her the invocation of chaos in that TikTok video
Oh, it was straight messy. When,
Oh, okay. Because that, I tell people all the time when they come in there learning stuff, and they want to like learn about like, spell work or this, that, and the other. I tell them, don't be over there messing with all that stuff. Y'all don't know
that's
what you're doing.
Yeah.
Don't
like,
invoke BK. Don't be invoking this and invoke because you don't know what you're doing.
Yeah.
because understand, you are invoking energy using words. Your words are powerful. You do give an account for every word that you speak.
Mm-hmm.
So you're
Hey,
casting
I'm in
spells
trouble
upon
there.
yourself. So you might as well cast spells that you want to see again. When
Mm-hmm.
when I saw that video, I said, "Oh," I said, "Yeah, he was definitely going to see that again." Just like I told one of my clients, he had a huge blowout with somebody, and I read the text. I said, "Oh, we're about to see this again," because when you're feeling something that strongly and you're that emotional about it,
Yeah.
it quickly manifests.
Yeah.
Because what you've done is you've actually taken whatever you were feeling and immediately dropped down to the subconscious mind. The subconscious mind is not going to debate you about what you put there. It's just going to manifest what you put there. And with it being that strongly felt, it only takes a very short period for it to manifest. Because he felt so strongly about it in that moment, it had to manifest exactly that night because of the intensity of the emotion.
Yeah.
Did anybody hear I read a story about Willow
Mhm.
writing a letter to Tupac. And
Uh-huh.
is that true, or is that, I mean,
Uh-huh.
it was
That's true.
yeah, that was a deep letter, like, come back to make my mommy happy. It was
No, make us happy.
make us happy. Yeah.
Not mommy. Us.
Yes.
That's
Yes.
where we got deep for me.
Yes. So I'm wondering, I'm
I
wondering
think it.
if he knew that that letter, the baby had, his daughter had written that letter, and now, of course, it's all
If
over.
we know about it, I know he know about it.
Yeah. And he's known that this woman has been in love with Tupac. I mean, he's just said that on the Breakfast Club recently, or last time he was on there. He knows. He knows that he's
I
never been
wonder
the love of her
if
life.
Jada loves Tupac or if she's obsessed with Tupac because Tupac was an actual challenge.
Well, he says love. I don't believe a narcissist can truly love. So,
Right. And that's why I asked that. 'Cause,
That
a nar-
maybe Tupac was somebody she couldn't have all to
Right.
herself.
yeah.
Is that what you meant by the challenge?
Yes. That's what she was attracted to because I think that narcissistic women uh validate their egotism by being man eaters and by kind of trumping the masculine force, like kind of outperforming masculinity in that way, like dominating that which is supposed to be masculine. So I could, if Jada Pinkett Smith is narcissistic, I can totally see her being attracted to uh Tupac because all of his like kind of like rebellion and wildness and untamedness is a total challenge for her. It's a way to validate her femininity if she can tame and center.
well, I could tell you, I'm looking at this chart, her chart too. Somebody asked about that. This is a whole mess. If I had known, I would have told Will, run, Forrest,
That's
run.
why I asked. That's why I asked her. I said, "Is Jada helping the situation?"
Not with this chart, she ain't helping. She ain't helping
Wow.
nothing with this chart here.
Really?
And they're only a week apart.
Is that messy, Heart?
Huh?
Is that messy?
Child, this is a whole mess. I'm not gonna draw on this one. Hold on, let me
Tell
show
us
y'all.
some things about what's going on. Like, what are you seeing?
Hold on.
Yes, I'd like to know.
I'm not surprised. We're not surprised. This only confirmation.
Well, I have a friend who says she knows Jada from Baltimore. I mean, she knew Jada when she was growing up, her mother, her family, and everything. And she said she was pretty much a mess then. So,
Jesus.
yeah.
This is a mess. I'm not drawing. I didn't bring this over to my other program, so I'm just going to hopefully y'all can kind of follow along.
Yeah.
What I first noticed here was this Jupiter and Neptune and they are right at basically the cusp of Sagittarius, but they're on this side of Sagittarius in the 12th house. And but she okay, this is what this means. So Jupiter is kind of like it's the gift giver and all of that, right? It's the planet of expansion and big thoughts, big dreams, all that kind of stuff. So Jupiter's at home in Sagittarius. When you couple that with Neptune, though, that can, if it's good, it's great. If it's bad, it's darn near insidious and evil.
Wow.
Especially in Sagittarians. Now, I hope I'm not going to offend any Sagittarians in the house. Please take no offense to what I'm about to say. But Sagittarians tend to have a lot of narcissists that are Sagittarians.
Absolutely. Look, I got a best friend. I love him to death. I give him the world and then some. That bitch is a full-on narcissist, though. I love him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I've met very few that are not. So, and anyway, but
I got an auntie right now who I can't even bring myself to speak to because her narcissism has gotten worse as she ages. She's gotten more unconsciously narcissistic as fuck, and I can't even deal at this point.
Mm-hmm. So down here, I want y'all. This is Mars. This is what they call the North Node, or what you aspire to be, right? What you're supposed to be growing towards in this lifetime. Mars and the North Node are conjunct in Aquarius, which means she's one of these people that thinks she knows the best for everybody and everything. And she's just going to make sure you know it. And she ain't going to stop until it changes. And she's also going to be very eccentric. Mars in Aquarius is very eccentric. So it has a lot of interesting, ways of looking at things, aka entanglements. Okay, so this is giving that. Oh my God, that's in complete agreement with Uranus in Libra. So she's always going to be looking to, and that's conjunct her Lilith, which is the dark side of the moon, which is that nasty little, that really manipulative. Lilith gets a bad name, but that's that other side, right? Yeah. And then so now you have the chaotic, rebellious, I'm always going to upset the apple cart, revolutionary Uranus energy that's in complete like brother sister agreement with Mars and the North Node. Like, yeah, kind of like hard rock. We're gonna bust some stuff up. Like, that's that energy. And so she's always looking to keep especially Will off his square. That's in the 10th house. She's looking to keep everybody off. Like, nobody's gonna get no rest. Nobody ain't getting no rest until Jada's happy with whatever she's happy with today.
And this is part of the inspiration. This is why Willow said, Tupac, bring your motherfucking ass back, because you dicking this damn woman down will get her all up off of our asses. Because when she ain't motherfucking happy, none of us are, baby. So don't make her happy again, damn it, so we can get some damn relief.
Ain't damn, not a lick or a Louis. And then you've got it all in the 10th house, which is the house of career, public, how the public views you, right? Public recognition, all of that. She's got her sun in Virgo. She's got Pluto in Virgo, which so she's always going to be looking for a way to recreate herself, especially in the eyes of others. Venus in the 10th house in Libra is I'm all about myself. I'm all about myself. And then this energy here of is in opposition to Chiron, which is again the wounded healer. So the story, the mythology behind Chiron, very short, is Chiron was he was a centaur, and this is Greek mythology, and he was the best healing, and he was an immortal centaur. He was the most amazing healer in all of Greece. And I don't remember which one of the lesser gods he was really good friends with, but anyway, he's really good friends. He used to play around, but the god or whatever, the demigod, was firing off arrows and accidentally shot Chiron, but Chiron couldn't die because he was immortal, so he was continually in pain, and he could never understand why his best friend shot him with a bow and arrow. So Chiron is that the people that can wound you, that's why I mean that's that wound that never heals. And that's the wound we need to be looking to heal the most. And it's usually the closest to us and it's going to hit us the hardest. So with that, like, I'm going to just tear everything up in opposition to her Chiron's in Aries. Oh my God. Her Chiron's in Aries too. So that's a real personal in the fourth house, close to home, aka mom's on heroin, aka dad's not around, aka I never really had a stable life. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I gotta always be changing because I'm never satisfied. I'm never happy. AKA my 40th birthday was trash, Will, even though it took you months and months and months or whatever to plan it.
Jesus. Constantly escalating, constantly reinforcing low self-esteem.
Absolutely.
Making herself the center.
Absolutely.
Wow.
So she needs to make others look small for her to feel large.
Absolutely.
Could that be telling of does that say something about her true feelings about herself? Or
well, it's going to be hard for me to pinpoint what her true feelings are about herself. Because I don't even know she knows what her true feelings are about herself.
Okay.
That her sun and her moon is in Virgo. She's always going to be wishy-washy. She's never going to nail it down.
Them Virgos are designed not to get it together.
True.
Now what's wild about your assessment, Heart of Inspiration, is that your assessment almost mirrors a lot of commentary from a lot of the professional therapists who have like assessed this situation, who've made a lot of the same statements about Jada, the dynamics of their marriage and the things that led to this. And it's crazy that that's wrapped up in his astrological stuff.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
And this here too, when you see Saturn in Gemini, Saturn does not like to be in Gemini because it's too free thinking and it's too and that's opposing her whole thing going on, this delusion. And she's got these delusions of grandeur. That's what this energy is. Thank you. Delusions of grandeur. She thinks she's all that in 20 bags of chips.
So she's an overt narcissist.
My God, today. Yes, she is.
Wow.
Ooh, child.
Baby! Okay, hold on. Before I ask you this question, did you ever find anything on Chris Rock and about?
Yeah, I got his chart up there.
Okay. I was if his jawline was written up in the stars on that night too.
Okay, yeah, I did his transit chart. Oh wait, I gotta share.
The stars had to know that this nigga was gonna have to nuck and buck on this night.
Yeah, we didn't, but
right.
Which one is this one? I think this is him. Let me see.
Okay, let's see here. So this is Chris Rock.
Yeah, this is Chris Rock. Let me blow this up a little bit. Blue is his chart. When I pulled up his chart, just his chart on its own, I'm like, this is a whole mess.
It's the whole mess too. Oh my God! So a bunch of
he's more balanced. He's spread all his planets all around. He's balanced. For him, okay, he's got this moon in Aries, which I have as well. So that can be a powder keg and a little underlying, you're not sure when that one's gonna pop out. But that really wasn't, it wasn't really active. Well, it was squaring Pluto, so self-change. I don't know that he knew this was coming.
Of course not.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't think that he woke up this day and thought he was going to be thoroughly embarrassed. Now, was there some karma to come back? Probably, because he himself was having a Saturn return.
Well, Will Smith was that return.
Yes, he was.
Because this has okay. So are you saying that there was something kind of transformative going on in his chart too?
I'm saying that it was his Saturn, and Saturn returns can upset the apple carts.
Yeah.
But you have to remember at 57, that's what your third Saturn return technically.
Mm-hmm.
By that point, you should pretty much have most of your stuff worked out. So if you don't have it worked out by then, it's probably a problem. But it was going to have something to do with the woman because Venus is right there conjunct.
Oh, wow. And Venus is connected to who? Other zodiacs?
Venus rules Libra.
Libra, yeah.
So what's interesting is that Chris Rock might have been perfectly in place to be Will Smith's Grace, because to Blue Phoenix's point,
absolutely,
Chris Rock being controlled chaos, the way he kind of absorbed that and did not double down on penalty and consequence really played a major world in things not being worked could be for Will Smith.
Yeah. And I because he really did not have a lot going on that night.
Thank God he did. Because he could have turned this into something else.
Yeah,
he had a lot going on. He could have used this to be the perpetual victim. He could have really leaned into his pain body if he would have had a lot of shit going on. I mean, he could have really escalated and amplified things for Will Smith based upon what his own condition was at the time. So Will Smith is glad he hit a pretty resolved man.
He should be. He should be very, very, very happy that he did. And as I'm just kind of taking the chart in just for a minute because it's the first time I've seen it. It's interesting because I see his Chiron is over here in Pisces in the 12th house, and it's trining his Neptune over here. That if I, in knowing what I know about his childhood, like his learning disability and things like that, that would kind of signal to me that he would have been having troubles in childhood, because this should be kind of where dreams are, right? And where you're like, oh, I want to be a fireman, I want to be a doctor, whatever. And yet he's wounded in that area. Like he's not able to really dream like as big as other people would really think that he would. And he's got Saturn tying him down. So he's not going to be given to a lot of delusion. But he's also not going to be able to dream as easily as other people, and he probably won't think as highly of himself
because
as he probably should.
Everybody hates Chris. That childhood trauma is still a big part of his.
It absolutely.
Wow.
I would also wonder if how his relationship is with his grandparents.
I'm gonna get an interview with him so we can get all of his business.
Let's do that. I want to know.
Yes.
I want to know. Yeah. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Oh, no problem. I apologize. But that's what I was saying about they both manifested this together because they both had a lot of childhood stuff that needed to be healed. And it was kind of coming out in this messy form for them to kind of like to finally face it. Because it was both a very triggering event for both of them to really take a hard look at what was going on internally.
Wow. So like a mirroring effect, yeah.
Yeah, they were a mirror for each other. That's exactly what it was.
Yeah.
But he also, it's interesting because even as I was looking at that chart, and it's interesting to see his chart because you can look at that and tell that he's an Aquarius, so he kind of doesn't care what he says.
Oh, Chris Rock is
generalize. Huh?
Chris Rock is an Aquarius?
Unless I'm reading this. Yeah, no, he's an Aquarius.
Okay. I have a love-hate relationship to male Aquarius.
I know you do.
I love me some Aquarius folks.
Because is that 1, 2,
I
3,
love them as long as
Aquarius.
I'm not having to date them. As friends and everything else, they are excellent. But as lovers, absolutely fuck not. I can't do it with an Aquarius man.
No, I'd never date an Aquarius.
It's like
Don't mind
dating
working
a
with them.
full-on psychopath.
Did Reckless fall asleep over there?
No, he just be looking down at his phone.
Okay.
When y'all be seeing him.
Oh,
Oh
you'll
no,
know when he's awake because he'll be making some facial expressions to let you know he's awake.
oh no. Okay, so with me, like my computer's like slowed down and stuff, so I'm on my phone to keep up with you guys.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
Yeah. So okay, so someone asked in the first of all, thank you so much for that heart of
You're welcome.
Damn, calm. Okay. Oh, and people were asking like, is women in the chat heart expression who like she needs to read me and my husband. Once again, can you tell folk where they can find you at for your services, please?
You can go to heartofinspiration.net. When you go to my website, there's like over on the end, there's like this more. So you have to drop that down because my primary business isn't personal readings anymore. But yeah, you can go over there and book if you want to get a reading from me. I don't necessarily have astrology put on there. Just book like an energy reading and we can do whatever. But if you guys have your time, date, place of birth, then we can look at some things.
Yes, I told y'all. I'm gonna have all of the metaphysicians on here just come and do a old nasty piece of show and tell for y'all, and we get into some things and let these wonderful practitioners put their gifts on display and hopefully gain some clientele and have some extra income coming in because they got some of y'all on payroll now. And okay, you need an astrologer in your life. You need an astrologist. You have to have one. I have a personal astrologist, and I can't do like literally it impacts everything: business, love life, health.
Yeah.
I mean, your astrological makeup has to do with everything. What you should be eating, everything is made up in that. So
it really does.
I have to bring y'all back to talk about that. I wanted to ask everybody too. There was somebody who came through and asked about whether this is all fake, based upon how much substance there is to what can really like authenticate what took place that night. Do y'all think this was still? Do y'all think this could have been still a hoax, or do y'all think this was a genuine manifestation?
I never believed it was hoax.
Okay.
That's a genuine manifestation.
I don't get.
Two people were talking at the same time. I don't know.
I'm sorry.
At first, I thought it was a hoax. I did. I thought they were going to prank people, and then I was up watching one of your lives, and I kept seeing this crawl it was on an Australian television station, and they were talking about Chris Rock and Will Smith having a contentious moment. That's what they said. And then the next day, of course, there was more information about what happened.
Yes. Part of inspiration, even with everything going on astrologically, psychologically, you think it's possible this still might have been a hoax? Would you be shocked if it was a hoax, if you turned around and this was a whole publicity stunt?
You know what? I'm going to tell you something. I would not be shocked. I'll tell you why. Part of me honestly thought, and still to this day, what nobody can explain to me is Chris called him Richard when he walked up to the stage. He didn't call him Will. He said, "Oh, Richard." So part of me thought maybe it was meant to be a joke and he was supposed to tell a different joke. And he told the joke about G.I. Jane too. And the joke went really wrong. He was like, "Oh, you think this is about to be all fun and games now?" Pow! And I would not be surprised if that's what was kind of meant to happen, because they had Regina Hall. From what I hear, I didn't see this. I've been trying to find the clips, but I hear they had Regina Hall patting, mayonnaise men down and all that kind of stuff. You know, and just disrespecting herself in a way that that we should not allow ourselves to be disrespected for other people's entertainment. So do I think it's out of the possibility? I don't think it's out of the possibility. I think what ends up happening is that it got serious.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Like it got serious because even Chris's reaction, it was weird. It was just weird. And then when he yelled from like he hit him much harder than I think he expected to be hit. That's what I think. I don't know.
Yeah. Somebody was asking, why was Chris leaning in? Oh, you got to understand, when Will Smith got on stage and became eye level to him, Chris was blinded by all of those heavy ass lights that are above him and in front of him. So I think he was looking to try to make out who the hell it was that was coming up on stage. And then when he realized it was Will, he still didn't necessarily get defensive because, once again, why would he think that Will Smith is coming to punch him in the damn face? So
right.
Exactly.
He's like, okay, you know, he's probably coming up here to have a word with me for sure. But you know, nearly, I'm not going to lose teeth over this. But I think it was the light. You know, it's easier to see people who are sitting in their seats than to see somebody's silhouette in front of them when you have all of those blinding lights in front of you. So I think that's why he's leaning in. But
right.
Do you still think that even with all the astrological stuff that it could have been a hoax?
Who you asking?
A Purple Lover.
Okay.
I think it could have been something that was initially, like she said, was supposed to go one way, but you got to remember, these TV stations are very much all about creating these type of situations to get ratings. Because let's not forget, before this event occurred, they were literally talking about how the Oscar ratings had dropped down so badly that there was like even starting to be talks of them no longer having the Oscars. So knowing people aren't ignorant in Hollywood, they know when you have issues with other people in Hollywood. And Jada and Chris Rock and Will Smith had ongoing issues for a long time. So putting them in that situation together and allowing that joke to be presented, they knew what was the possibility of happening, and it was done on purpose. Just like Mona with the love of hip hop, she would constantly create situations so things would pop off, so they could get their Jerry Springer moment. So for
you
me,
think that this was a scheme that Todd came to us with, for sure, and that makes a lot of sense too. That they set them up.
Yes, because they literally knew they had to do something and they needed to do it fast because the ratings has consistently dropped for the Oscars, and it was dropping to the point where they were talking about not even airing the Oscars anymore.
Right.
Wow. Okay. Holistic attorney. Genuine outburst or a setup from Mona Scott Young?
I don't think it was a setup, to be honest. I honestly think I am of the school of thought that something has gone terribly wrong with Will Smith mentally. I don't see how I don't see how the G.I. Jane joke was even that bad. G.I. Jane, the character, is this badass woman who, enlisted in the military. I don't see how that's a normal reaction to a joke like that. This even going back to the whole idea of Will Smith protecting Jada and all that stuff. Okay, fair enough, that's valid, but again, against what? Like, it was a light-hearted joke, and I think the kind of status Will Smith has risen to, it's really sad that, you know, it came. I don't think he would risk all of that, especially considering it was his first Oscar as well. I don't really see why he would want to have that as part of his legacy. So yeah, I don't see it as being a setup. I truly see it as a man who for some reason just had enough of whatever, I don't know.
Yeah.
But this is a man who's going through something really, I think, is serious. As someone who has had my own mental health challenges, and I remembered when I was I guess nervous, when I was nervous, dysregulated. Every little thing was a trigger. And when I was overwhelmed, you know, I would receive, you know, something that someone might have meant, you know, a certain way. I would see it another way. And I think Will Smith has been trying to also live up to this thug fantasy he thinks Jada wants in Tupac, I guess. And maybe he thought this would be some kind of moment for him to prove something to her as well. I don't know, but yeah, I don't think it was a setup.
Let me ask y'all this question. I was thinking about this because you know I like to give all trains of thought their equal run around in my head, just to be fair. And I was thinking about this whole nose ring coming out. I was thinking about this whole humiliation ritual shit. Do y'all think, like in lieu of Will Smith's speech about being at another place in his life, expressing really a lot of disdain for the industry, etc., and him just kind of understanding that he's realized he's been called to something more, something has been revealed to him. Could it be possible that if the Illuminati has its grounds and its hooves lodged into Hollywood, and people have literally made their share of pacts with this secret society, that Will Smith may have asked to be out of whatever this cultism is, whatever this is, may have been asked to be out. And they oblige him by saying, you can be out as long as you're willing to give up everything we gave to you as a result of you selling your soul to begin with. And this humiliation ritual was a way to take everything away from Will Smith as a result. Because now he's now in rehab. Now his Oscar is potentially being stripped from him. Now he's on everybody's shit list. Everybody's glorifying Chris Rock. Will Smith is being humiliated. He's being looked like crazy madman and all of this shit. And lots of deals and sponsors are dropping Will from their roster. So do y'all think that this possibly could have been his humiliation ritual to get out and away from this shit?
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Is he for sure in rehab? We know that for sure.
That's what the reports are, but I'm going to look it up as you guys are kind of finding.
I wasn't sure. Yeah, I wasn't sure if that's confirmed. Could it be?
For what?
Go ahead, dear.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
Oh, yeah. No, I was wondering, what would he be in rehab for? What would he be going to rehab for?
Hold on. We ain't even got to ask any further. I'm going to read this real quick. Because people have been reporting this, and it is all over Google at this point. Let me share my screen here and read this with you all. This is from marca.com, and I wish this ad would get the hell out of the way. It's captioned, Will Smith admitted to a luxury rehab clinic after his slapping of Chris Rock. After the attack, On Chris Rock at this year's Oscars, Will Smith will seek expert help to deal with stress at a celebrity rehab clinic. The American actor was the star of the Academy Awards night when he slapped the comedian after he made a joke about the shaved hair of the actor's wife, Jada Pinkett Smith, who suffers from alopecia. The moment has such repercussions, keyword, the moment has such repercussions that, as reported by the British newspaper The Sun, the artist will spend some time in a rehabilitation clinic. The impact of the backlash has hit Will hard, so he will be getting help on dealing with stress, explained the newspaper. It will be a high-level retreat. This is unquestionably the battle of his career. By God, I just said all of that. It will be a high-end retreat used by the rich and famous, and he will be doing a lot of soul-searching and working out how he can move forward, continued telling The Sun. Will Smith hopes, according to the newspaper source, to return in time to save his career and reputation. Recall that after the official apology, the actor has already been dismissed from the Academy of Motion Picture Oscars after the assault, quote, my membership in the Academy of Motion Picture Arts and Sciences, and will accept any other consequences that management deems appropriate, Will Smith said in a statement. So, for its part, the awards organization opened a disciplinary file against the performer for inappropriate physical contact, abusive or threatening conduct, and compromising the integrity of the Academy. So, thoughts?
I'm scared for Will. I'm not feeling good about this celebrity rehab. Something ain't right. Something ain't
I've
right.
been to rehab.
Well, it's not about the rehab, dear. It's not about the rehab. A lot of times the celebrity rehabs, I don't know how much y'all know about like Bam Margera's and stuff, or like even what they did to Britney Spears when they put her in that facility.
Yeah.
It's not just rehab. Some of these rehabs are like harmful therapies. And I'm scared for him.
I know exactly what you're talking about. It's more like a retraining or reprogramming of the person.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking. Perp.
It's very intensive. Just like after you saw Kanye West come back from his little rehab moment, you saw how much worse he got.
Yes.
And then he glitched, and now they're trying to reprogram again. So I think Will may have glitched.
Yeah,
I think Will Smith is definitely trying to find his way out.
I think so too.
And I think,
I wonder how he would have. I mean, if he did not know that Chris was going to tell this joke, I guess it's still a gray area. We don't know if he knew it or not. I guess I'm wondering.
So the key words though is that before they came, he was aware that no matter what, they were going to create chaos.
Okay, I remember that.
So it seemed like he was going to find a way to do something.
To set it off. Okay.
He was going to set a moment off somehow, some way. And he had, and the so-called Illuminati gave him 2 times. They gave him the Regina Hall jokes that was made about his marriage and the entanglements, and then the Chris Rock set.
Okay, I see. Because my question would have been, how would he have known? That. I mean, but you said he had already projected chaos.
Yeah,
he had chosen that, and he was pumped up about that.
And they knew who was going to be in attendance, or they knew who was going to be on the lineup. Like they knew who the speakers were going to be and everything. So they knew Chris was going to be there. And how much of this was facilitated on the front end, we don't know. But the outcome nonetheless was going to be his things to me.
One thing that was
when I listened to Will Smith, like when I listened to his speech, I felt like I was hearing a man who was just over it. A man who just didn't want to do this anymore.
Yeah. When he was telling you he was choosing chaos, he was letting you know he was ready to spiritually let this concept of Will Smith that y'all knew died the horrible death that it needed to die, because he can no longer continue with that imagery.
I gotta push back. That
Okay.
video, that energy was not anything positive. I'm telling you, it was nothing positive. It wasn't, I'm going to liberate myself. Because if Will Smith wanted to liberate himself in a positive, love and light fashion, he wouldn't have gone up and slapped that man upside his head.
I'm not saying
In
it was
his
positive.
face.
You can still choose a spiritual death and not be positive. Spiritual death doesn't always have to be a positive thing. You can choose to say, I'm just going to torpedo the whole damn thing. When you look at the Joker and he talking about he ready to let the city burn, he damn sure ain't on no positive shit. But what I'm saying was, he didn't give a damn anymore. He was ready to light his image on fire.
That I will agree with.
Right.
That I will agree with.
And maybe it could have also been a prophecy. He knew that because this was they were giving him this way out. It was like he was almost like, you know how like an athlete is preparing themselves for a showdown, and maybe it was just like, I'm preparing for the chaos more so than even being an agent of it. Like,
yeah, he was psyching himself up to do the work he had to do.
You know, like, I know this is about to be. I know that the way that I have to leave out these people, it's like it's the Illuminati allegedly is like any other gang. You get jumped in, and if you want out, you get jumped the fuck out. But you get jumped out by price. Like, it got to hurt on your way out if you leave it up. Like, you're not leaving intact and in tow. You're not going to leave comfortably and leave happily and just go on about your motherfucking life. Like, you don't do the allegiance and the brotherhood that way.
Well, let me ask you this. Did you see, I'm sure everybody did, y'all saw the Instagram, her Instagram, she had a carousel in her green enchantress dress, and it was 3 pictures of her and none a wheel, and keeping my fingers crossed, or let's keep our fingers crossed. We're talking about this now. That kind of takes on a whole different perspective. Like, what were you really keeping your fingers crossed for, sis? Like, we all thought it was for the Oscars, but what if it was for something else? You know what I'm saying?
It's some deep shit. because everybody, no matter who's talking about this from what angle, it doesn't make sense. Like, it just there's something like kind of just unnatural. This wasn't like, I mean, not like unnatural as in the whole thing was staged. Like, there's reality to everything that played out, but that it's clear that there's a thing here. What that is, we're all trying to put our finger on, but there's like things in this.
Well, what I will say is that they about to get their ratings on this next table talk.
Yeah, but he in the rehab now, Reckless. I thought he was gonna come on there, but now he in the rehab. What's she gonna do? The red table talk from the rehab?
It might be afterwards. It might be. They might do the rehab. It might be the after the dust settles and Will done came into enlightenment and.
Child, I don't care then. I want to hear now. Don't tell. Don't tell me in 30 days. I've been moved on by that
time. Let him talk right now because he might tell too much. He's too vulnerable.
Well, but
he might tell how he had to give his pussy up to Oprah with the strap on.
I know.
You don't need him spilling all the illuminati and all the sex. Because what do y'all think about this? Because and I don't know how true this is, but somebody dropped in the comment and said that Jada and Will are on the flight logs of Epstein.
They are. I've seen them.
They are on the flight log of what?
Y'all, this shit runs deep.
Yeah.
These niggas are on the flight logs to Epstein Island.
But did y'all peek games? She actually showed her hand by showing you that she was his handler. Because notice, he doesn't respond until he looks over at her.
Right. Also, have you noticed that a lot of those folks that their names are listed, they're selling their houses all of a sudden. you don't see them. No, like a lot of these celebrities, a lot of the CEOs that step down and all these things. Like, I'm not going to go too deep conspiracy rabbit hole here, but I mean, people are coming up missing, or they're moving out, and you all of a sudden don't see them no more. So I don't know what's going on, but it ain't all good. I mean, they went multiple times on the Lolita Express. There were multiple trips.
Really? I didn't
And
know
let's
that.
not forget Prince Richard was up there.
Huh?
Let's not forget the Prince of England was up there also on that.
Yeah, Edward.
Andrew, yeah.
Yeah,
Prince Andrew.
because I screwed up the name.
On the flight logs too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I saw
He
that
was
in
a
the
frequent flyer.
And you had to pay Gouffre.
It was one of the girls that accused him of also
Yeah, and
being
he had to
one of them.
settle her.
Right.
Because his mama stripped him of everything.
Absolutely everything.
Y'all, could y'all imagine what the fuck we would see if the system that is like shielding the truth from us just snatched the curtain back? Could y'all imagine what the fuck is behind the fourth wall?
You really don't have to imagine that much.
No. Could y'all imagine what is behind, for real? What is behind the fourth wall of fucking reality? The shit that's the realities that are being kept from us. Like when I think about the Vatican and how they have like 90% of the library chained up underneath it. What the fuck is in that secured library? These motherfuckers are withholding the truth from us. Area 51, all of that shit. Like, could y'all imagine what is being kept from us? What about God? What about consciousness? The nature of the universe? What about the way that our governments interact? What, like, could y'all imagine?
But
what
that's
the fuck is lying in the darkness of all of that mystery?
That's why we had. But that's why we had lockdown, dear. Like, come on now, everybody. There was a lot of awakening going on, and then all of a sudden, we got to be locked down. But you're seeing the disintegration of the matrix before your very eyes. It is. It is. And now it's accelerating how quickly it's happening. And if you can stay out of fear. If you can stay out of fear and not believe what you're being told, I don't care what it's about, not believe it, go off and get independent. That's why they can't stay on YouTube and all that kind of stuff, right? They want to censor all this because we're telling the truth about things. So you can't believe you can't believe what they're telling you, people. It's all lies. It's all lies. It's all lies.
Don't believe the obvious shit. It's always the non-obvious. That's what you need to be looking at.
Absolutely.
Smoke and mirror shit is the smoke and mirrors. That's just the surface.
Absolutely. You can't believe anything.
Structure on Epstein's Island is still up. I'm sorry.
It is.
Something wrong.
But
they haven't torn it down. They haven't. Nothing has happened to that building.
Nope.
But it also goes back to what my mother used to always say: if you want to hide anything, hide it in plain sight.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But we've been too busy. I don't even know what
being
we've been
distracted.
doing.
Being distracted.
That's true.
Always been distracted, though. That's the thing.
Well, your government spends time. When you break down the word government, it tells you it's trying to control your mind.
Your mind. Absolutely.
Oh, like, what do y'all think about this MK Ultra?
MK Ultra, yeah.
Chris chimed the character in once he caught Will Richard. It was MK Ultra.
I didn't even see. Okay, I'm going to bed. I didn't even see that. I got to go to bed. Angel, you done unlocked the key because I was like, why you call this man
MK
Richard?
Ultra Trigger. Richard. Look,
yeah, because
you can do this shit all night.
Jada look was to prompt him to go up, and then when he called him Richard, that was to finish out the whole scenario.
Wow.
Because when you do,
y'all, because we all got to get up, but my God, this is why This is why I wanted to come back and do a part 2. I wasn't gonna put this on the end of a 3-hour live. Like this needed to be its own situation out here on these screens.
We got to start this earlier,
We
okay?
do.
You
Yeah.
can't be doing this at midnight, man.
Wow.
That just blew my mind right there. How I'm
That
going to
blew
go to
my
sleep
mind.
now, Angel? How I'm going to go to sleep?
Teamwork make the dream work. That's why we all need each other. We all got the pieces.
Yeah.
I mean, like putting that shit together like a goddamn master puzzle.
Wow.
God.
Oh, work this ass go. So
yeah,
we
that
do
was
got
something on my mind.
Yes, this is deep. We need to continue to cover the story as it develops for sure. Come back, you know, as it plays out and give our various perspectives. This was fucking epic as fuck. I want to thank you all for tonight. Heart of Inspiration, the natal charts. That shit was epic as hell. Like, gotta have y'all back to do the readings. Once again, can you tell the people where they can find you? I know you're probably tired of promoting your damn self, but tell the folk where they can find you once again, please.
Heart of Inspiration on YouTube. You guys, since we're promoting every morning now, somewhere between 9 and 10 Central, I drop a daily energy report where I read the day's chart. I pull an oracle card and I channel messages about the day. So pop on over. It's usually about 15-20 minutes. Just come on through. And then if you want to schedule a reading, I don't do that many readings. So if you want to schedule some time on my calendar, you can go to heartofinspiration.net and there's like a more selection, and that's where you can find private sessions with me. So thank you, Conscious. You are so sweet. Thank you so much.
Y'all, like this shit, like no, y'all got me lit right now. Like this this live was fucking epic. Like this shit was fucking epic.
So
like,
thank you. I'll be awake thinking about it. Okay.
Yeah. Thank y'all for coming up. I'm gonna let y'all go. I'm coming to y'all Friday with Dr. Larry Reed, so y'all be in the building. We gonna get. I need y'all all in the building. We got to talk about whether disciplining Black children physically is still a healthy situation or not. Because if you haven't seen Reading Things My Way episode 4, you guys check it out. There was a whole altercation between Elisa and one of the daughters, and it went down to the ground. Like, so we're going to get into some of those things. Elisa will probably be joining us as well Friday. So we'll be in the building.
That's going to be a hot one.
I'm going to return everybody's emails over the weekend. Heart of Inspiration. I definitely need us to do that tarot card read. Angel, we got to get that show going. So when I reach out to you, I want to discuss all that stuff as well. I love you to death. I love everybody. Purple Lover, you already know, boo. Like what it is. I'm going to be contacting you too because I want you to be a part of that show as well. You are a woman of many magical talents, so I have to have you a part of that show. It's only right to do. And Jazzy Jace, of course, like I need you back as well, Queen.
I would love to. I watch your energy readings in the morning, Heart of Inspiration. I do. Comment. I do watch.
She is one of my favorite people.
I only do 2 or 3 or 4 card pulls, but I like it. I really enjoy it.
Thank you.
Absolutely love all you guys.
And
thank you so much for having me.
Are you a content creator? Like, do you have a channel?
I am on Instagram. I channel my journey. It's called the Holistic Anthony. I have a self-healing page that chronicles my journey from beating a lot of health issues, from being hospitalized 3 times and losing everything to pretty much gaining everything, and how I did to self-healing and using a lot of holistic tools. So I share that on my Instagram page, and you can find me at theholisticanthony.com.
Yes, Holistic Attorney on Instagram, you guys. Holistic, I might have to bring you back and interview you about your story.
Sure.
You know, I love a from rags to riches to rags back to riches again kind of story. I love an underdog story.
Yeah.
So, those are the type of things that we need to hear. That is freaking amazing.
It is.
Okay, I'm gonna follow you on Instagram myself, so I can stay in touch with you as well. Thank you for coming. Where are you from? I love your accent as well.
I was born in Nigeria.
Oh, Nigerian! Wow, wow, from the motherland.
From the motherland.
Oh, bro, I gotta have. Oh, God. See, look. Okay, so how often do you watch the platform?
Sorry?
How often do you watch the platform?
I started watching you 2 months ago, and you're literally the one of the only people I watch consistently.
Right.
So yeah, like because I don't really have time to be on as much, but I try to catch as much, and I've been going through all your videos. I'm a huge fan. Like, you inspire me. So yeah.
Oh my goodness. Well, thank you so much. I want to bring you back for a show. I want you to tell your story. And also, with you being from Nigeria, I would love to come. I would love to have you on to talk about Nigeria and Africa and just your experience and your knowledge and everything. So I'll be staying in contact with you as well.
Okay. Sounds good. Sounds
okay,
good.
Boo. But I want to thank all of you wonderful queens for being up here and blessing me. Thank you for holding the throne down tonight. You guys came and slayed and did your fucking thing. This one is for the books. I am so happy with the show. This was fucking everything together. Like, this was literally everything. Like,
I just followed you on Instagram too, and I just sent you a message, so it might be easier for you to get in touch with me there.
I will follow you.
Yeah,
also.
you conscious, yeah.
Okay,
my Instagram account was hacked, so I had to start a brand new one.
Oh.
Yeah, it was hacked, and it was
Look, it's always something with these.
It's always something.
Yeah, these social media pages, it's a lot going on. Well, okay, I'm gonna follow everybody back. I love you guys. If y'all don't see me today, y'all would definitely once again see me Friday. Hopefully we'll be able to come back and also have a show on Sunday. I would love to do the spiritual stuff, so I'll be reaching out to a Heart of Inspiration and to you, Jazzy, and to my boo, everybody else. I want to have a part of that show, so we'll get everything done. So I'm gonna drop you guys down. Love you all.
Love you all. Thank you.
Love you guys.
Bye, everyone.
Bye, everyone. I love you guys. Consciously was an epic fucking show, honey. Like that only here can you get it. Only here can you get all this, honey. Like, this was everything. The astrology, the conspiracies, honey. Like, we made it make sense, baby. No matter which way you cut the pie, baby. It's sweet on all sides. This is what we do. I am here for it. Okay, so you guys make sure that you share. Once again, thumbs up. If you didn't do it in the beginning and you didn't do it in the middle, do it at the end, which is right now. Please give me a thumbs up. If you catch this in the replay, thumbs up this motherfucking video. This helps me so much with YouTube's algorithm. It helps us grow the kingdom. It helps YouTube to recommend this to other YouTube patrons across the YouTube sphere. Thank you all to my chat, to my mods. I appreciate you guys. I'll be seeing you guys on Friday with the doctor in the motherfucking building, honey. Shout out to Reckless and to Knockout Media. Make sure you subscribe to my boys. And I will see you guys later. Peace.